Alexander the Great was one of the most famous military leaders in human history. In just 13 years, he built one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, stretching from Greece to Egypt and deep into Asia. His achievements changed the course of history and influenced cultures, governments, and civilizations for centuries. Early life. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the ancient city of Pella, the capital of the Kingdom of Macedon. He was the son of Philip II of Macedon and Olympias. From an early age, Alexander showed intelligence, courage, and ambition. His father hired the famous philosopher Aristotle to educate him. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied philosophy, science, medicine, literature, and politics. He developed a deep admiration for the Greek hero Achilles and dreamed of achieving great glory. One famous story from his youth tells how he tamed a wild horse named Bucephalus. While experienced horsemen failed to control the animal, Alexander noticed that the horse was frightened by its own shadow. He turned the horse toward the sun and successfully rode it. Impressed, Philip reportedly told his son that Macedonia was too small for his ambitions. Becoming king. In 336 BCE, King Philip II was assassinated during a public ceremony. At only 20 years old, Alexander became king of Macedonia. His position was not secure. Several Greek city-states and neighboring tribes believed they could break free from Macedonian control. Alexander acted quickly and decisively. He crushed rebellions in the north and then marched south into Greece. The city of Thebes rebelled against Macedonian rule. Alexander responded with overwhelming force, destroying much of the city in 335 BCE. This harsh action discouraged further revolts and established his authority throughout Greece. With Greece united under his leadership, Alexander turned his attention to the powerful Achaemenid Persian Empire, which had long been Greece's greatest rival. The invasion of Persia. In 334 BCE, Alexander crossed the Hellespont, modern Dardanelles, into Asia Minor with approximately 40,000 soldiers. His goal was to conquer the Persian Empire, ruled by Darius III. Battle of the Granicus. Alexander's first major victory came at the Battle of the Granicus. Despite strong Persian resistance, his army defeated Persian forces and secured control of much of Asia Minor. This victory boosted morale and encouraged many Greek cities under Persian rule to support Alexander. Battle of Issus. In 333 BCE, Alexander faced Darius III himself at the Battle of Issus. Although heavily outnumbered, Alexander's tactical brilliance led to a decisive victory. Darius fled the battlefield, leaving behind his family, who were treated respectfully by Alexander. This battle greatly weakened Persian power and enhanced Alexander's reputation as an extraordinary commander. Conquest of the Eastern Mediterranean. After Issus, Alexander moved south along the Mediterranean coast to cut off Persian naval power. Siege of Tyre. One of his most famous military operations was the Siege of Tyre. The island city of Tyre seemed nearly impossible to capture. Alexander ordered the construction of a massive causeway connecting the island to the mainland. After a 7-month siege, the city fell. The victory demonstrated Alexander's determination and engineering capabilities. Egypt. In 332 BCE, Alexander entered Egypt, where he was welcomed as a liberator from Persian rule. He founded the city of Alexandria, which would become one of the most important centers of learning and culture in the ancient world. Alexander also visited the Oracle of Amun at the Siwa Oasis. The priests reportedly declared him the son of a god, reinforcing his belief that he had a divine destiny. The fall of the Persian Empire. Battle of Gaugamela. In 331 BCE, Alexander and Darius III met in their final decisive confrontation at the Battle of Gaugamela. Darius commanded a vast army that greatly outnumbered Alexander's forces. Nevertheless, Alexander's superior tactics and disciplined troops achieved a stunning victory. After the battle,
The road to the heart of the Persian Empire lay open. Capturing Persian capitals. Alexander captured several important Persian cities, including Babylon, Susa, Persepolis. Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of Persia, was famously burned, possibly as revenge for earlier Persian invasions of Greece. Darius III fled eastward, but was eventually murdered by one of his own officials. Alexander honored his former enemy with a royal burial and declared himself the legitimate ruler of Persia. Campaigns in Central Asia. Many kings' army refuses to continue. Alexander hoped to continue deeper into India. However, his soldiers had been campaigning for years and were exhausted. At the Hyphasis River, the army refused to march farther east. Reluctantly, Alexander agreed to turn back. This marked the eastern limit of his empire. The difficult return. The journey home was brutal. Part of Alexander's army crossed the harsh Gedrosian desert. Thousands of soldiers died from heat, thirst, and starvation. Despite the losses, Alexander remained with his men and shared their hardships. Eventually, the surviving forces returned to Persia. Efforts to unite cultures. Alexander believed that lasting stability required cooperation between different peoples. He encouraged marriages between Macedonians and Persians and adopted certain Persian customs. In 324 BCE, he organized a mass wedding ceremony at Susa, where many of his officers married Persian noblewomen. These policies were controversial. Some Macedonians felt he was abandoning their traditions, while many Persians still viewed him as a foreign conqueror. Nevertheless, Alexander's efforts helped spread Greek culture throughout his empire, while also incorporating local traditions. This blending of cultures became known as the Hellenistic Age. Death of Alexander.
Division of the empire. Alexander left no clear adult heir. As a result, his generals fought a series of conflicts known as the Wars of the Successors. Eventually, the empire was divided into several kingdoms, including Ptolemaic Kingdom in Egypt, Seleucid Empire in much of Asia, Antigonid Macedonia in Macedonia and Greece. Although the empire fragmented, Alexander's influence remained powerful. Legacy. Alexander the Great transformed the ancient world. He created an empire stretching over 3 continents and spread Greek language, art, architecture, science, and philosophy across vast regions. The Hellenistic civilization that emerged after his death influenced cultures from the Mediterranean to India. Greek ideas later helped shape the development of the Roman world, and indirectly, modern Western civilization. Military leaders throughout history, including Julius Caesar, Napoleon Bonaparte, and George S. Patton, studied Alexander's campaigns. More than 2,300 years after his death, Alexander remains a symbol of ambition, leadership, courage, and conquest. His victories reshaped the political map of the ancient world, and his name continues to be recognized across cultures as one of history's greatest conquerors.